Hi, I'm Kelly.
Hi, Rick.
And we are Wanderbus Adventures. This week we carry on with our build and we also remind ourselves why we bought the bus in the first place.
Kelly's cold. We've just made a list for the next part of this job, so it's here. And ironically, the first thing we need to do is take all this apart so we can crack on with the rest of it.
Morning, it's Tuesday today and it's just me today because Rich is working. So we've decided that we are going to paint the rest of the ceiling white, which would have been easier if we decided this before, but we were going to varnish it, but then I was thinking it was going to look a different colour to the rest of the plywood in the van, and I thought it'd look a bit weird, so we're going to do it white. So here we go, let's get taping up so I don't get it over the furniture we've already built. Okay, all taped up in there.
Kelly's out doing some painting just on my break. We've totally agreed that we're painting the back bit, but I'm going to go in and pretend that we didn't agree that. Let's see if this dangerous game will play out. Hello, how you getting on?
Hello.
What are you doing?
Painting the ceiling.
We're not supposed to be painting the ceiling.
Yes, I am. There's undercoat in it.
We didn't think we were going to keep it as wood.
No one, shut up. And this is awkward.
She didn't fall for my trick.
No, because it's not having it, like, it's white now.
It's going to look good.
Yeah, this is so awkward. I'm too tall, so I can't even kneel up properly.
It is, it's tricky. Yeah, in hindsight, we should have just painted it all.
I would have done that.
But
we're so indecisive. Coat one is done. I'll go wait for it to dry and don't have a coat. Looks patchy as anything, but it will dry back to like this eventually. Set and coat a primer done. Still looks crud. So much fun.
this wood here that we've taken down is pretty rough, so I'm just going to go over it with some 120 grit sandpaper and then maybe finer. And we're going to paint this. For the most part, it's going to be completely covered over, but obviously we don't want it looking super rough.
These have now had their final coats, so they've had 4 coats on each side, 2 primer, 2 coats of normal paint. And at this point we decided to down tools and have a little bit of break, as some of you may have noticed we wasn't present on YouTube last week. Having not been away for over 2 years, this may seem like a tame getaway, but for us it was just what we needed. We're on holiday for the weekend, aren't we?
Yeah, and we're going to the arcade today.
Where are we now?
We're at the beach.
We're at Minehead.
These are huge! What have you found?
A limpet. We found a fish.
He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah.
Impressive though.
Lily's won a bracelet and now she's going for the unicorn profit.
Oh, I saw it there.
It's coming in!
It's going! Oh no, he's holding onto that chain with his mum. Yay!
It doesn't. It isn't, guys.
Cool.
Yay!
Well done.
Got it.
We don't cover our non-build related stuff often, but we wanted to share. This is the reason we want a bus in the first place. We are hoping eventually our adventure will be more far flung away, but first we need to get the bus finished.
We're back, and in fairness, couldn't have timed the weather better. So we're going to crack on with a bit more of this in the back. I've just raided my wood pile because I need to make some bracing up for the top part of the roof. Oh, the rain really is coming down. Before I carry on with this next bit, if I could just ask you to hit the like button, really would appreciate it. It just helps the video reach more people. Anyhow, what we're doing here is making a little frame. I'm going to make it out of the 63 by 38 CLS timber. I'm going to put a batten up the middle, one down each side, and then have a batten going along the top. I'm going to pop that together with pocket holes. Now, what you have here is your 38mm CLS, and then you could use this to measure that if you wanted to. 38mm, and then what you do, quite simply, on the back here, you push this out to 38mm. There we are. And then what you do is you get your drill, and you'll pop it through the collet until basically the shoulder of the drill bit comes at 38. You pop your reducer on there and tighten it up. And then all you do is pop this in the vise or with a clamp over where you want to drill. And you drill in and out to make sure that the swarf and sawdust can escape. Do it. Like that. Put your pocket hole through here and your hole out the end here. Then you repeat the process many times as you need to do. There you are, you can see how the pocket holes have held on that top frame. These will screw through into here. I can't put this in yet because I need to take this out to insulate in here. And we've got some smelly insulations popping.
Got another woolly. Hopefully there's no sheep in this one.
So this stuff is called Thermafleece. It's made of sheep's wool and then some other recycled materials, but it's very high sheep's wool content, which is a little bit smelly, but this stuff's good for managing moisture. It's hypoallergenic and all of that stuff. And we're going to use it to shove up in this area here and underneath the back part of the ceiling, which we haven't insulated yet.
Plus you can see the different colours of the sheeps in it. Cut it in two. Oh, it smells really sheepy once you start cutting it.
It does go away, doesn't it? We've
Yeah.
used it all the way along underneath both curved sides, and you can't smell it at all in there now. So we know that it does. The smell does go away.
These scissors are really good as well.
Yeah, with any sharp scissors. You can cut through bone if you are so inclined.
Really?
Apparently so.
I'm struggling with one. But that just might be because of my grip.
Iron grip.
We have just spent like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, haven't we, talking about where we're going to put our lights and where we're going to put our fan. So we think that we've now decided. Yeah, these are our little lights. What was that? The
They've
pin?
got a built-in USB and they're dimmable.
Yeah.
We don't think they'll be used as reading lights as such, more like directional lighting.
Yeah.
Rather than like, so like, if I turn it on, it won't necessarily light up the whole room. The lilies will go up here like this. And then she'll have a little charging point if she needs it. And then we're thinking this side's one will go up here.
Yes.
To keep it symmetrical. And then next to it here, we've got a big gimbal fan.
I just put it away.
I'll show you that later.
Yeah.
So, but to do that, we need to just extend some cables and stuff. And then before we put the wood back up, we need to drill the corresponding holes through it.
And this is the kind of things that hold you up.
Yeah, it's all needs to be done, but
Yeah.
it's all it takes time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
We've got this stuff, which is like posh four-way stretch. We've not used it before, this type. I'm going to try and line around the doors before we put this wood up, just to finish it off nicely. So we've got 4 pieces. We've got 1 for each side, and then we've got 2 that we need to join together for the middle piece. And what I'm going to use is this trim fix adhesive that I've used before. So this is contact adhesive. Spray it on the mounted surface, and you spray it on the material, and once it's gone tacky, which happens very quickly, you put one on the other. You don't want to get this on anything that you don't want to get it on though, because it's an absolute pain in the bottom to remove. So I'm just going to use this cardboard like a little shield on this. This bit's done, this side's done. I'm just doing the top bit. I'm doing it 2 halves, and then I'll cut it and hide the seam line. Cal's just gone to get Lily. But yeah, this stuff's slightly different from normal 4-way carpet in that it's got like a woven pattern on it. On the back it's like foam, but it still stretches. Unfortunately, you can't buy it anymore. We bought the last lot of it, and we've only got enough to do around the doors, which is why we thought if we did it here, it'll be a nice finishing detail, and it won't matter that we're not using it anywhere else. This is now screwed in. Got some gaps at the top. I'm just going to fill that with some Sikaflex, because you'll see why it won't really matter. Eventually we're going to have some nice detail in here anyway. This has happened because that frame that I've put in, this is a good learning point for anyone else that might happen to do it this way, has pushed it ever so slightly out of, well, it's pushed it into square basically, rather than it being out square where it was before. So I've just got a little bit of a bigger gap than what I would have liked, but I'm just going to fill that now. And that flexible sealant is the stuff to do it with, because it will have give in it. There we are, so sealed. You can see that no gaps now, and the next job really is to see how we're going to make that window work. This is how it's going to look eventually. Imagine in your mind's eye. We're going to have a plywood shelf coming across here with, you know, like a batten across the front, a dowel, something like that, just for some small storage, books and stuff like that. Below it there's going to be a window, and on either side we're going to almost box that in with a bit of birch plywood. So what we'll have down below, you have the mattress up to about here, gap there for obviously sleeping in, window with birch either side, and then storage up above. Before I can do that, I need to make a sort of stud wall. I could use some of the CLS batten to basically create a shelf and some verticals to frame the window. Okay, so this is roughly where it's going to go. Now to get it into its correct position, I'm going to make the frame to go on the inside, so I know that it's a rectangle. How I'm going to do that, here I've got a piece of 9mm birch plywood, and it's 122 wide. And what I'm going to do is cut 2 strips down that are the same width as these bars, same depth as these bars rather, and then I'll cut the uprights, and then if I pin those together, that'll give me a rectangle that I can then side these side bits in so they're symmetrical, and then route round, hopefully. The 2 long strips were cut first, then I cut another long strip and chopped the 2 little bits out of it, making sure that they were all the same depth. Hopefully it's starting to make sense now. So I've got the frame in here, which we'll need to sand back and oil. It's attached to this frame here, and I'm now going to go through and just screw through the plywood into this frame so it's all secure, and then hopefully we can cut this out and see if this whole window idea is going to work. Square first. Square. And then I'm just going to measure from side to side, top to top, so top to top, top to bottom, all the way around to make sure it is a rectangle. Because once I decide to cut this out, I can't put it back.
Oh.
Got the seal of approval, so I'm going to cut it out now and hopefully show you what it looks like. Been a lot of little niggly bits this to try and get to this stage, but we're getting there,
Yeah. Exciting.
You want it all floppy?
No one likes a floppy.
These here, by the way, I brought them up. These are going to be our mood lights, and I'm going to get some angled to go under here.
Yeah.
And under here. And then that way, that's what's on the switch that's there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're filming me, I didn't realise.
The whole time. Do you a sneaks film?
Just going to grab a drill bit and punch a hole out the corner, and then I'm going to rough out around here the hole.
We're bricking it a bit, aren't we?
Yeah, because there's loads of work gone into this, and
Weeks.
you could like just ruin it all. So that'll make a good video, but it'll be a big waste of our time.
Yeah. Be fine.
So. Go on the other side and draw some rough lines with a straight edge, and then cut it from the outside,
Yeah.
and then we can finesse it afterwards. Then on the back here, we're going to do something else. Obviously not today, but we want it to look nice, maybe with some cross-hatch detail, but also storage, because there's just so much room on there. We are going to put some vents in here.
Yeah. Pop. We have a hole. Yeah.
I then took the rough edge and started to finesse it with a flush bit in the router. It was going quite well, but then my bit has failed. The guide bit on the top flew off and I didn't notice, and just nicked the bit at the top. It's not the end of the world, because I did notice before it went too far, but that bit there is a little bit more than flush, which is a bit annoying. So we'll get another bit out, continue my way around.
Yeah, it's really nice. Oh, it's really neat.
It's cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Shall we show everybody? It's still not quite finished, but you can see we've got a lovely picture window now, ready for its inside skin, a little shelf and some finishing touches. So there we go.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you've had a lovely week, and we will see you soon. 1, 2, 3.
Bye!